Roads are getting wet and slick.
But we're looking at this hitting this afternoon right when everyone's trying to get home from work.
That's the problem. It really couldn't have come at a worse time, and it's going to be late this afternoon, especially through most of the evening. So here we go, Kate and Brianna. These are the numbers right now as of the temperatures as of noon. 37 in Boston, close to 40 over most of Cape Cod right now, but you can see 32 to 34 inland, and certainly this is not going to be a powder storm in most locations. We don't have any Arctic air to draw on to bring it in here. It's going to be a pasty wet snow, and that's one of the problems we'll discuss in just a minute. So the temperatures won't change much this afternoon. We've had some off and on snow showers migrating on from east to west, and some rain showers over southeastern Massachusetts, not really directly related to the shield of precipitation associated with the storm to the south. And there's a storm right there. You can see the circulation just off the coast of Maryland, Delaware here, and it's just beginning to get its act together as the energy moves into the storm. It's going to pretty much develop very quickly this afternoon, and a very large area of precipitation will be expanding up into New England. So the main impacts from this, coastal flooding, we get some impact from that. Certainly not quite as bad as obvious as what we had over the weekend storm. There will be some damaging wind gusts. We'll have some impact there. Power outage potential, we certainly have some impact there. We've got to be careful because we're going to have some heavy wet snow, and accumulating inches of snow on especially some of the conifers are going to make a big difference. Hazardous travel, very high impact there. So when is it going to be the worst? Well, certainly this afternoon. It gets worse as the afternoon goes along, especially by 5 p.m. much of the area. That's going to be high impact on the roads. 9 p.m. still high impact. 1 o'clock still high impact. The road conditions should become better toward morning, but still will have some impact even tomorrow morning as well, as the precipitation shield expands across the area this afternoon. This roughly around 2:30. We're getting rain in much of eastern Massachusetts, occasionally mixed with some snow, and then the snow shield out to the west will tend to collapse to the coastline this evening when it becomes dark. And we have the wind also switching from more of an easterly direction to more of a northeast, and then to north-northeast, and that's going to pretty much suggest it's going to be a big snow event coming up later this evening, even close to the coast. Tough call right along the coast, mostly rain on the Cape, maybe ending as a little bit of snow there, but over southeastern Massachusetts is a tough call right in here as well. And then we get this wraparound. As the storm goes out to sea, we get this wraparound, this sort of backlash that we call it. We could be some very heavy snow in the early morning hours in Boston, then winding down towards about 6 in the morning, and then after that tapers off, so we have some breaks of sunshine during tomorrow afternoon. So the expected snowfall out of this is what we have right now, but I think we're going to tweak this a little bit because I think the heavier snow bands to the west may drop into Boston, so it looks like over 12 inches in this slot, north central Massachusetts northward, but the 6 to 12 inch band here, in other words 6 ranging up to 12 inches here, that whole band will be shifted closer to Boston, and this 3 to 6 inch band here will be shifted off to the southeast. As we get more information from the model guidance this afternoon, we'll be updating, of course, every half hour on the air this afternoon and into the newscast this evening. For Cape Cod, we'll get less snow down there, mostly rain, but a flood watch is up over southeastern Massachusetts for the heavy rain that's going to be falling. Currently, we have winds of 20 to a few gusts of 30 miles an hour, but suggested it's going to be up to as much as 60 miles per hour here on the Cape and along the coast, so that's going to cause additional problems there. And again, those winds of 35 to 50 later on. We have wave heights now around 8 to 10 feet just offshore. But the coastal flooding situation we're concerned about the most is in the morning with coastal flood warnings on the North Shore and the South Shore, coastal flood advisory on the Cape. The next high tide, not the afternoon tide, but the early morning tide around 3:30, give or take an hour and a half, 2 hours either side of that tide time, will be some flooding going on there. But fortunately, the tide height scheduled is much lower than it was last weekend. So there we go, the storm winding down in the early morning hours tomorrow. A few breaks in the afternoon. The weekend's looking okay right now. A few snow showers could occur. We're watching another storm on Monday. Not sure just how that's going to shake out just yet. We'll take one at a time.